Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be looking at probably my best race so far in Gran Turismo. I haven't been back on the game in a very long time. It's been about 2 years since I was playing this game regularly, but I just recently started playing again, and I actually think that this is my best race yet. And don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your screen. The video is smaller right now just because whenever the race actually starts, I'm going to have a split screen. I'm going to have the TV cam on there as well as my view. So the video that you're seeing right now is actually recorded during the race. And then I go back and play the replays and record the replays, just so you can kind of see a different angle of the action. Because sometimes things happen that you can't really see from the first person view that I play the game in. So anyways, yeah, this is the daily race. I don't know why they call it the daily race because it lasts a week, but it's the daily race. We're in the Group 3 cars, or GT3 cars, and we are on one of the fake circuits, but one of the most beloved circuits in Gran Turismo, Deep Forest Raceway, and we are playing on the reverse layout. So here we go, starting off strong. And get ready, because it's just pure chaos here. So you can see, I think the Lancer in front of me messed everyone up, and yeah, you can see a lot of spinouts happening. Luckily, you know, if this was real life, we would have been caught up in that, but luckily it's a video game, and some of the offending cars could ghost, and so we didn't get affected. So kind of fortunate that we're playing a video game. If it had been real life, our race would have been over at the first turn. So you can see I kind of get loose there, and I've got someone on my tail here. I was really struggling with this track. This was actually it's the same track that was just in round 3 of the Manufacturers Cup, or Manufacturers Championship, and it's kind of crazy how just reversing the layout from that race can just make a totally different race. Like this whole section here, you're going downhill instead of uphill, and it totally changes the car's dynamics. Go wide at that last turn. That's going to be something that happens quite a bit this race. Down the main straight here, I like to just keep it in 5th and just let the engine rev, because there's a braking point right here. And ooh, and looks like someone goes wide, so that's another position picked up for us. So we're in a 3rd. But yeah, that straight away, it's better to just stay in gear, because when you change gears, it kind of throws the car off balance a little more than I'd like, so I just stay in gear. Get loose again. I believe I qualified 8th for this race, and yeah, it was. I'm actually setting the fastest lap right there. Sector 1 and 2, I was fastest, but unfortunately, I don't think I keep that up. But yeah, I hadn't had a lot of practice in this track, as someone else looks like had a little bit of a mistake. They have a penalty, and without any practice, I was going in kind of blind. And like I say, I'm very happy with my result in this race. As someone who's trying to always get better and improve at the game, it could be very discouraging whenever that isn't happening. And so as we just about rear end the NSX. I was trying to make a move on him, but he had a penalty. Unfortunately, when I made the move on the NSX, I immediately lost the position to the Porsche. So and as we hit the wall, that right there is really the only mistake that I make as we get saved by the ghosting again. But that was the one mistake that I made, and we're really lucky to not get a penalty for that. Oh, actually, yeah, that whole sector was kind of a thing. I don't know. We'll do a replay of that. During the race, that felt much more like a racing incident. But looking at it, I think I may be at fault of that. I didn't really give him enough space, I don't feel like. He didn't message me or anything, so I guess it didn't piss him off too much. But honestly, looking back at that, I don't know. Like I say, during the race, it felt much more just like a mistake. I mean, it's not like I wrecked him on purpose, but yeah, I guess you guys be the decider there. We are D-class racers, so it's not like we're the best, but we do all have S safety ratings, so. This turn was by Nemesis. I really just did not trust myself through this middle sector, through this windiness. I just hadn't had enough practice, and you can really tell. And not until the later laps do I really start to get some confidence through this middle sector. Set my fastest lap, but it's still not the absolute best lap. As I shift this time, I'm not doing anything different. I just had a bit of a moment where I forgot I didn't want to shift there. I feel like that's probably the best way that I handled that turn the entire race. See, we go a little wide. That makes us come out wide at that turn. The last turn is another turn that I've struggled with very hard. I just can't get this McLaren to rotate properly without completely losing it. So I get kind of lucky in that there weren't better racers in here, because no offense to any of my opponents, I think, you know, we're all learning and we're all of amateur skill, honestly, but I think we're all learning and we're improving. But if I was in a lobby with better racers, I think I would have been a sitting duck at that last hairpin turn. Okay, I handle that turn okay there. I come out a little hot on the throttle, but then this turn was a disaster. And we go completely wide at the exit of the tunnel. That's a really hard turn to get right, too. I want to make it very clear that this entire track is tricky. This is... As I almost lose it there. We almost lose it. But this is a very, very difficult track. And I actually think this reverse layout is the harder configuration of the track. That whole middle sector, the windiness, going downhill... You got to really be careful. It's kind of like the downhill section of Mount Panorama. If you make if you're just slightly a millimeter too hard on the throttle, you're going to spin. Very, very difficult track. I would say this is one of the most difficult tracks that I've experienced in the game. At the best first sector. As we come out a little hot there. We're now halfway through the race, so tire wear and pit stops are going to be coming into place soon. We go a little wide again on the exit to the tunnel. And we go wide on the exit of that turn as well. This downhill section here is the one I was talking about. Very, very... You have to be very delicate, very precise. So I remember in this moment, I was just trying to wait on when the two people ahead of me were going to pit. You can see they've got a very comfortable lead on me. They're close together, but they're 7.5 seconds ahead of me. And so I was just trying to watch as we go wide into turn 1, or well, the first hairpin. But I was watching the mini map to see if I could see when they were pitting up there in the top right. And it looks like Dead Cartier has something to say to someone. He said, "You're so bad, I left a lane open." And we just about lose it again. Going down the hill here. But we have 3 seconds of wiggle room. So luckily nothing too bad happened. And so you can see they pitted and then, oh, I crossed and went back. Now, the guy behind me in his Citroen probably thought that I was just trying to confuse him, or, you know, he probably thought I was just trying to do some strategy to like fake him out. But actually the reason that I was going to go into the pits and I decided to come back out because I was scared that I cut the pit line, and that's a 3-second penalty. So the 2 leaders went and pitted, and I actually stay out this extra lap. But this is my end lap here. Because as you can see, not that I am the most precise driver in the world, but the tires are getting a little slicker. And I am still trying to drive at 100%, so you can see me going wider in a lot more corners. This is where the race really begins to pick up. You can see I'm leading right now, but I do still have to pit, so here I make sure to be behind that line, and luckily you can just go full speed into the pits and not have to worry about pit speed in this game, at least not in this race. Alright, let's see what my boys can do. Like a puma. They're like pumas pouncing in heat. I'm sorry, I saw their puma shoes and made me say something inappropriate. Alright, so we enter again. It's uneventful. We're kind of by ourselves. 4 seconds to the car in front of us and 4.5 seconds to the car behind us. We're pretty much right in the middle of second and fourth. We are on mediums now, so once the tires get up to temp after this out lap, we should be a little bit quicker. The cold tires squealing, begging for mercy. They're not going to get it. These tires are going to go through hell for the next 5 laps. Or, well, 4 laps. 4.5 laps. Alright, so we're sitting at third right now. We're on some fresh mediums. Emerge 69 is in first and Indian Swag is in second. And yeah, we're just trying to catch up to them. They have fresh tires too. I'm pretty sure, I would assume that they're on mediums, but I don't actually know for sure. As we go wide into turn number 1, or damn it, the first hairpin again. Okay, you can see that we're a lot quicker on these mediums. We just set the fastest lap and we're 4/10 down from our own lap, so God, that turn was scary. It gives me PTSD. Alright, so you can see we're catching the Porsche in second. He really struggles in this middle sector. And by this time of the race, of course, he goes over the bumpers, and I do too. Racing is a gentleman's sport after all. But by this time of the race, I'm really getting a lot more comfortable in that middle sector, and the Porsche goes wide on the last hairpin, putting me into second with a substantial 2.5 second lead on him. As I set the fastest lap, a 1:28.871. So now we're just trying to catch that Mitsubishi in the front. Okay, so we take the first hairpin, not too bad this lap. It's slow, but at least we're not wide. At least we're not going wide. Yeah, we take that turn okay-ish. This turn, we take pretty good. Mediums are getting nice and sticky and warm. We've managed to gain a second on the car in front. And another half second after that middle sector, it looks like. Okay, so we're going on to the penultimate lap here. And we're still 6 seconds down. So at this point of the race, I was just keeping my head down, really focusing on just not spinning out, because I would be happy with a second place. And I wasn't really too concerned with catching up to the leader, because I mean, he's got such a substantial lead on me right now. But you can see it's gone down another half second. We're 3/10 slower this lap. Consistency is very difficult. Sorry for yawning. I'm laying in bed as I'm recording this, if I'm just being honest. I'm laying down with my microphone and my laptop. And we go a little wide on the exit there. But luckily the mediums kind of help us get back on the line quickly. Alright, I believe that the Lancer went a little wide, or he got caught up in some traffic. But here we go, on to the final lap. And we are now possibly in contention for winning the race. We're 1.8 seconds behind. And you can see the traffic, the back traffic just causing all kinds of ruckus. And now we're within a second of the Lancer. Going on to the back straight. Ooh, did we go wide? No, we kept it. Okay. You can see we're... Oh, as I just about choke it. And you can see that he's really struggling in this middle sector, and I am just eating away at him, even though I'm struggling my own. And we are 6/10 away from each other now, and he goes wide in this corner, and I finally hit it pretty good. And I am right on his tail here for the drag race to the finish. You can see I'm 1/10 of a second away, and he crosses in front of me, but he had a 1 second penalty. So I won the race. And this was probably the most exciting race that I've been a part of yet. This is probably my best, hardest fought victory as of yet. And I've got about 70 races logged so far. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was D-class racing, but I do still think it had its merits in some parts. So, and if you look, I like to think that we are going off into the sunset together. True competitors and lovers. Have a great night, guys.